College decisions. I wanted to wait a little while to make this video because well, first off, I didn't realize that Ivy Day, or that some schools were publishing on March 28th and not the 31st, which was last year. And I also wanted to give people some time to just let whatever happened that day sink in and just kind of come to terms with it, because just to be frank and brutally honest, there's nothing you can change about what has happened. And it's crazy for me to think about this because exactly a year ago, I was in the same spot a lot of you guys are in right now. It's weird for me to like reflect back on that and just think about how stressful and pissed, and there's just a lot of emotions that were going through my mind when I was reading those rejections and wait lists. And it's hard. It's definitely hard. There were a lot of tears. There were a lot of punching the wall. There were a lot of cursing. So I get it. Like, I empathize and I understand what the college acceptance, rejection, waitlist process is like, because I was there a year ago. So were thousands of other students, right? So today I just kind of wanted to talk about my experiences and kind of give you some tips and ways to cope with whatever you're feeling, because it's hard. It's definitely hard. And as a senior in high school, you think that not getting into your top school is devastating and your dreams are ruined and that your life is going to be miserable for not just the next 4 years, but your entire career. And I'm here to tell you that that is not true. Everything will be okay. You'll end up fine. You're going to go to a great school. You're going to meet amazing people. You're going to have an amazing job. Usually I plan out like what I want to talk about in my videos, but I feel like today should just be an honest reflection and just whatever comes to mind. So just kind of bear with me as I take time to really formulate my thoughts, because I know this is a sensitive topic and I know a lot of you guys want to hear my opinions on it, because I've been with you guys throughout a lot of this process of, you know, not only applying for the schools way back in like October, but now that, you know, almost 4 or 5 months has passed, like you want to hear updates on what you can do. So I guess the best thing for me to do is kind of tell you my story. I've gained a ton of new subscribers since I uploaded my college application story. I will link it down below if you haven't seen that, where I go through all my stats and GPAs and extracurriculars, so you can figure that out there. But let me give you kind of my reflection on Ivy Day. If you don't know already, Ivy Day is essentially the day when all the schools upload their application decisions. I was waking up that morning, I vividly remember thinking like, holy shit, today's gonna be the biggest day of my life. It's gonna determine the next 4 years. There were a lot of nerves just going through my classes throughout the day. I would pull out my laptop in every period, update those portals, check College Confidential, just like anxiously waiting, like, damn, when are these schools gonna freaking upload their results? So, you know, like, and then I saw a thread that said most of the schools be up by 4 p.m. So I got out of class at like 3:20. Two of my best friends, we went to my house and I just set my laptop up, and those were like the longest 30 minutes of my life, just waiting, refreshing, praying. And so yeah, I had all my schools, all my portals open in separate tabs. So I applied to a lot of the Ivy Leagues: Stanford, Columbia, UPenn, Yale, Harvard, Princeton, UChicago. Well, yeah, UChicago. Yeah, those were the kind of the top schools that I was looking at. Up to this point, I had been accepted to UC Berkeley, Vanderbilt, Northwestern, NYU, UT, OU, and I was rejected from USC. I also applied early to Harvard, got deferred to regular decisions, so I was waiting to hear back from Harvard as well at this point. So 4 p.m. rolls around. I flip a coin to decide which school to look at first, and I can't remember the exact order, but I do remember like I opened up my video camera just to record my reactions if somehow something good did happen. So yeah, let's just go through it. UChicago, I was waitlisted. Penn, I was rejected. Yale, I was rejected. Harvard, I was rejected. Columbia, I was waitlisted. Princeton, I was waitlisted. And throughout my entire process, I really thought that Stanford was my #1 choice, and so I saved that for the last. And I log in, you know, you see there's an update in your application portal, and then you click on it, and then there's that letter that pops up. And as soon as you see the words, "Dear Nicolas, Chae, thank you for applying to Stanford University, you just know, like, your heart sinks. You don't even need to read the rest of it, because those are the words that they always start with, or some bullshit like, we appreciate your passion for our school, we are sorry to inform you, or blah blah, whatever it is. And it's when you see those words, your heart sinks to the bottom. You're just like, you feel like your whole world's collapsing. You're like, is this real? Is this actually happening to me? Like, when I got 3 rejections, 4 waitlists, I was devastated. I put in hundreds of hours into those applications. For the past 4 years of high school, I was grinding my ass off, doing everything I needed to. The thoughts that were going through my head were like, fuck, if I just studied a little bit more for that calculus test and bumped my 97 up to a 98, or if I just run for that president position, or if I started a club with my friends, like, why wasn't I finding the cure for cancer like all those other kids at Harvard, at Yale were? And I just felt like a piece of shit. Like, honestly, like what else could I have done to get in? You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure a lot of you guys are thinking that exact same thing. I was just at a loss for words, and I just lost any motivation I had for the next few weeks. You can ask my friends. Like, I was super down. I didn't want to talk to anyone. I just felt like the entire world was against me, and this was the biggest thing I'd been working for my entire life, and all that hard work had been for nothing. And I know a lot of you guys are thinking, like, shut up, like, you got into Northwestern, you got into Berkeley, Vanderbilt, NYU, you have great options. And obviously I did. Like, I was very, very grateful that I had other backup options to consider. But for me, my goals were Ivy League. Like, I wanted to get in that. And when I didn't get in, I was just broken, right? But obviously I'm at Princeton now. I got off the wait list. I'll go into that a little bit later. Okay, so that's kind of my story. I don't know how relatable it is for you, but I'm sure there were a lot of emotions running around, and it's hard, right? So I guess what I can do is just talk about each kind of decision. Let's start with the acceptances so I can get all of you guys out of the video and then I can talk to everyone else. Alright, so first of all, if you got accepted to your dream school or any Ivy League, congratulations. That's a huge accomplishment. You should be so proud of yourself. You put in the amount of work that you needed to, and it finally paid off. Don't let anyone ever discredit that and the fact that you deserve it and you earned it. Like, don't let anyone ever say, oh, you're just a legacy, oh, you're an athlete, oh, you're valedictorian. Like, who cares? Like, you're in, and that's all that matters. So congratulations. The only advice I can give to you is really, really consider your options, and just make sure that just because you got into Harvard, just because you got into Stanford, doesn't always mean it's the right choice for you. Yes, they're the top schools in the country, but that doesn't mean they have the best programs. That doesn't mean they have the best campus for you or the best professors for your major. Really do a lot of research and ensure that this is 100% the right school for you for the next 4 years. On top of that, just because it is name brand, there's a lot of negative sides that come with it. The classes are incredibly hard. The people you're coming to school with are so unbelievably talented. It's going to be hard to compete with a lot of other things. And obviously financial aid, like, look into that, make sure that you're getting the best package. If a school is offering you a full ride versus an Ivy League that's not, then, you know, weigh your pros and cons and just go with whatever fits right for you. How to pick a college is an entirely new video that I'll put out hopefully next week, so stay tuned for that. Don't make any rash decisions right now. To my waitlist people, I can empathize the most with you guys because right now you're in this very weird limbo stage. You probably don't even know, like obviously the waitlist is the waitlist. That means that you were good, you weren't good enough, but you weren't bad. Essentially how the waitlist process works, and if you want, I can make a new video about just this whole process. So you put in your application, the admissions committee looks at it, and they don't think that you're not a good fit. It's just you're not the perfect fit out of the other candidates. I personally recommend just accepting any spot on the waitlist just so you have that option. I don't think it's smart to close any doors by rejecting your spot on the waitlist just in case anything could happen. So the best plan of action that you can do is, yes, you can update your application. You can send in any updated resumes or other achievements or awards that you've won prior to submitting your application, because that was in early October, November, December, and then through the past 3 months in between, you could have gotten National Merit Finalist or won an award or anything like that. Just send an email to your admissions office and say, hey, I'm Nicolas Chae, I was on the wait list, but here are some updated achievements that I would like to be reflected in my application, or just upload it to your portal or whatever. But by all means, do not base your other college decisions off of the slim chance that you will be accepted off the wait list. For me, the probability that I was not only waitlisted at 1 school but 4 schools is, statistically speaking, like, that's a relatively, like, fairly slim but higher chance than most people, right? 4 schools is a lot. Even if Princeton's accepting 5%, waitlist is maybe like 1%. So I mean, I guess I'm part of the 1% because I got off. But yeah, for the majority of you guys, I hate, like, it really hurts me to say this because I'm speaking from the positive side of the waitlist, but for the majority, it may not be so good. You may not get in. So as good as it is to have hopes, you're gonna be a lot more devastated if you are just preying on the fact that you'll get into Stanford or Harvard off the wait list, because it's incredibly hard. I can guarantee that. So I got rejected from the wait list from Columbia, Yale, and Stanford, and then I got into Princeton. So 1 out of 4. Okay, to my rejection people, I'm sorry. I know it hurts. I really do know it hurts. Stanford I thought was my number 1 choice, and when I got rejected, I really felt like my whole world was falling apart. I just felt like I wasn't good enough. I'm dumb, I'm lazy, I'm not finding the cure for cancer at 18. And to be honest, like, fuck that bullshit. You are good enough, you are smart enough, you did enough in high school. Just because 1 or 2 or 3 schools reject you should not say anything about your self-worth. Do not let a few universities tell you that you're not good enough, because at the end of the day, you are. You have to believe that in your heart and in your soul and in your mind, that you put in the amount of work that you needed to, and it didn't go your way, and that's okay. That's what life is. Life is unfair. There's no way to get around that. And as much as I wish life could be fair for everyone could get into their dream schools, there's no way that logistically schools could accept everyone. Obviously, there's literally thousands of applications that these people have to go through, and yeah, it may not be fair. Someone might be a triple, quadruple legacy at Harvard, so they're automatically in, or their dad might have donated a library, or like you're an athlete, like whatever it is, it's not fair. The college admission process is just complete and utter bullshit, but you can't blame it. You can't blame yourself either. There's no one to blame. You know what I mean? Like, yes, institutionally it's corrupt, like there's obviously problems with it, but it's not something that we can fix now, or even within the next few years, I would say. I mean, obviously I'm not an admissions officer, so I can't change anything. But what I can do is I can offer advice and condolences to help you get through this process. Look at your other schools. Really find a great option for you. Bargain for more financial aid if you need some. Email your financial aid offices. Be like, hey, I really can't afford this school. Is there any way that my financial aid package could be revisited? And more than likely, schools have a lot of money. They don't tell you that, but they have a lot more money, and they can give it to you if you truly need it, and find a way to express that. Look into your majors, look into what programs they have, look into the professors that are teaching at that school, look at the location. That's huge. You want to be in an environment that's right for you. If you're not a city person, don't go to the city. If you're not a sunny outdoors type of person, don't go out to outdoors. Like, it makes sense, right? Find the atmosphere that best fits you. Find the people that you vibe the most with, which is kind of why I emphasize doing as many college tours as you can to these accepted schools. It doesn't make sense to go to a school that you've been rejected to and tour that, right? Like, just buy a plane ticket or road trip, or see if you can find any alumni from your high school that you can talk to about that specific school. That's the best way to get a feel for what that school is going to be like, whether you're going to vibe with the people, whether you're going to enjoy the next 4 years, because it is a very, very big decision. Don't let a few rejections, throw you off your game. Just bounce right back, because there's nothing you can do at this point. If there's one thing I could tell my past Nick, it's that everything happens for a reason. Whether you're religious or not, I truly, truly believe from the bottom of my heart that everything happens for a reason, and you'll end up at the school you need to be. Like I said, I didn't feel anything click when I went to Northwestern. I did feel something click when I went to Princeton. And even though you may have prejudices about the other schools that you're accepted to right now, just go and visit, and things might be different. You know what I mean? And my last bit of advice for everyone who's watching this video is that college is what you make of it. I've emphasized this so many times to all my friends and anyone else who's kind of asked me for advice, but literally, if you put in the work to get the most out of your college, that college is going to give that much back to you. You have to be willing to go out of your way to meet new people, talk to your professors, utilize all the resources that your university has, because then you're going to maximize your potential. If you're at a state school and you're utilizing everything that that place has to offer you, you can do a lot better than someone at Harvard who doesn't know how to utilize their resources and they're just bombarded by work. Obviously, alumni connections are great, but every university has alumni that you can reach out to. At the end of the day, yes, it's cool to have a name brand school, but by no means is it the end all be all of whether you're going to get a job or an internship. It's going to be the work you put in throughout your college years, finding new opportunities to dive into that experience. Wow, I've been rambling for a long time. This video may end up being like 15 minutes, but I hope you guys have bared with me through it. This is a topic that I really wanted to talk to you guys about because I know that it's hard and I know a lot of you guys are feeling really devastated right now. And the biggest thing is, don't let this impact the rest of your senior year. You only have a few more months of high school that you're never going to get back. The last few months of my high school senior year were some of the best times I had. I made so many new friends that I never would have thought I would have met. I was enjoying my time in my classes with my teachers, just like messing around, not really caring, because college, the applications are done. There's nothing else you can do. Obviously, your grades are still important and schools can ask for updates, so don't completely bomb your classes, but just enjoy it, like relax. All that stress is finally relieved, and now you can just start thinking about the next 4 years that you're going to be at this campus. So watch YouTube videos like me, or go and visit, or whatever, blah blah blah. That being said, if you are accepted to the Princeton class of 2022, congratulations. I'm super excited to meet you guys. We have preview April 9th and 16th. If you're on campus, should I do a meetup? We'll see. I will give updates about that. If you are interested, leave a comment down below. To everyone else, congratulations. You're through with the admissions process, and I'm very grateful and happy to have helped you guys along with this process. It means a lot reading your messages and just comments, seeing that I'm actually making an impact, and so that means the world to me. Thank you guys so much for the support. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.